Hey everybody, this is Sarah Harnish. I'm a Young Living Diamond and I'm the author of Unstuck, How to Talk to Humans and Get Them to Respond to You. And this is day 16 of Unstuck Boot Camp. If you have made it this far, you are a warrior princess. Or if you're male, you're a warrior prince. But I'm really encouraged by the investment you're willing to make into your business and willing to make into yourself, because this is a pretty intense boot camp. The size of the book and also just the videos, the investment of time that you have to make is pretty significant, but I believe the payoff is going to be just as significant for you if you're implementing some of these things that you are learning. Today is a pretty exciting night. We got some really neat things to cover, but first, real quick, I just want to show you a few things that I've been working on behind the scenes. So number one, we're only 5 days from finishing this boot camp, which means it's almost time for you to turn around and go do this boot camp with your own teams. That's where you're really going to start to see that volume popping in. And the neat thing is there's really no wrong way of doing this. If you feel that the videos are just a lot and you don't think your team can handle all of them, then cherry pick 5 of them and show just a few of them and have them do the book as a book study with the workbook. If you really feel that they need the depth, or you want to throw it out there and whoever does the whole thing does it and whoever doesn't, or if you want to slow it down and do 2 or 3 videos a week, there's really no wrong way of doing it. You can skip all the videos and just do the book and the workbook. Although the first and last video are pretty legit. They'll get them all fired up. But I want to show you how to be able to run an Unstuck boot camp with your own team. So I'm just going to flip my camera around real quick. Hello, Rainy Washington. And if you go to oilabilityteam.com on the internet, there it is, and you just go to share and unstuck and click on that. All your Unstuck stuff is right here. If you scroll down just a little bit, you will see all of the, let me see what's up here. Yeah, you're going to see all of the boot camp videos right here. So days 1 all the way to 20, we're going to be posting day 16 a little later tonight, and you can just click on it and paste it right into your groups. In a day or two here, we're also going to have write-ups for every single one of these videos, so you don't have to rethink the wheel. You literally have leading sentences that you can paste into your groups. Super easy for you to be able to share this. If you are doing a countdown to start your own boot camp, if you click on that little button at the very bottom there, it says for leaders leading Unstuck boot camps, there's countdowns. So, you got 2 days till the boot camp, 3 days to the boot camp. Maybe you count down for 10 days, 5 days, 3 days, whatever. If you want to count down for 20 days, you can count down all of them. And then when you actually start your boot camp, you can click down, click that it is day 1 of boot camp, or day 2 of boot camp, day 3 of boot camp. So we have graphics for you actually daily running the boot camp on your teams, and then also for counting down the boot camp as well. So it just makes it easy to share. Another new thing that we just added here is the Unstuck teacher training. So if you click on this is at the bottom of the page. It's going to give you this 2-page teacher training that you can run with your leaders. Super easy to duplicate with your leaders. So we did the training a little bit last week. And then let me see. I want to see if there's one more thing on here for you that we were working on. Let's see if we got it up here. Yep. Okay, so another thing is there's a little bundle here. This is actually the way when I sit down and do a coaching session with my leaders. So this is not a training. A training is they come to you after reading the mini, or they sit through a 101 class and they're like, all right, I really like my mom to use this stuff, but I'm not sure how to sign her up. Then I do the teacher training. That's like bare bones, basic, just got started. Here's how you get paid. Very simple. For leaders that have been doing this for a little bit, maybe they're a star, maybe they've held a couple of classes, then I sit down with them and I do some intense coaching with them. And I personally dedicate every Monday to coaching of my leaders. This is what we're doing to Build to Crown right now. So I put down the coaching sheets that I designed that I use with my team for you guys for free to use with your teams too. So what exactly do we talk about? I'm not going to train on this tonight, but I just want to show you where they're at. We will train on it later this week. There's a rank mapping sheet. There's coaching and action steps for them to work on, what their weaknesses are, and this is based off of the Diamond Rising deck. And then there's also a strategy sheet as well, where you can watch stat tracking and keep an eye on all of your stats, and it's just phenomenal. So it's a 5-page packet that you can print out. Doesn't cost you anything. It's just right up on the Unstuck page. All right. So happy to catch you while I cook dinner. That's awesome, Michelle. The other thing I want to show you guys is I have been working on a couple of things. Number one, Fearless. So we've spent the entire week on this, updating Fearless so that it matches what's going on in Unstuck. It's updated with the new CBD information. It's updated with the new starter kit with the 12 oils from last year. And we did a lot of tweaks in Fearless. And I was rereading through Fearless again. You know, you haven't read anything you've written in a year or two. It's good to just get a good refresher on it. And I'm like, dude, as an aromatherapist, this is everything I want my new oiler to know. Like, this is going to get them using their oils with intent and purpose every day. It's going to get them researching, label reading, going room to room, doing a scavenger hunt through their kit, getting their diffuser going for 30 days. Like, this isn't just a flyer with a graphic on it. Like, this is legit good aromatherapy training in a really, really small read. I mean, this is the size of my hand. So you see how small this book is? Very tiny. They're only $1. On my website. We don't print them in color, so I can keep it super, super cheap for you guys to be able to replicate on your team. So I thought, well, after we finish boot camp, I'm going to be dedicating the next 5 months to training you how to teach the core 5 classes. So February is totally dedicated to training the 101, the oils class. March is going to be completely dedicated to Thieves. The month after to Ningxia. The month after that to Savvy. And the month after that to CBD. And we'll have textable classes and 30-day challenge calendars and obviously all the scripts and the PowerPoints and everything, all as resources for you guys on that Unstuck page. I thought it'd be kind of neat to teach you how to teach the 101 using the new PowerPoint with all the media in it, but then also maybe end the first month with an entire Fearless class, because it's the only one of the core 5 classes that actually have a whole mini book to go with it that explains why you should be oiling. So I figure we're going to do a 5-day Fearless class at the end of next month, so you guys can really get some ideas on how to train your leaders and how to train your product users and get them on essential rewards. So nope, we're going to do oils, Thieves, Ningxia, Savvy, CBD. In that order. Oils, Thieves, Ningxia, Savvy, CBD. So the very first month is going to be oils, and that means that Fearless will be at the end of the month. So I'm going to teach you how to teach the 101 class, and then I'm going to train you inside out on Fearless and how to really use this as a tool. So I'm super stoked about that. And then you guys requested it, so we did it. We also have been working very heavily on this. So Unstuck is almost a 500-page book. It is legit. For convention this year, I'm going to work on an Unstuck Mini. It's going to be a little itty-bitty $1 book, just like Fearless. Obviously, I can't cover 500 pages of content in a little tiny itty-bitty book, but I can hit on the pillars of Unstuck, and so that's my plan with this little mini. So we just finished all the graphic design work on the cover, and I'll just read you the back of it so you guys can get a peek of it at it. This is just a little Kickstarter to get some of your leaders moving, maybe before you do a boot camp, or if you don't think they can handle the full book yet. Maybe it's a brand new builder and you just kind of want to get them started on the right foot. Game Plan Mini is a book specifically for prospecting business builders. This is a training book. It's an itty bitty little training book. So is your business stuck? Is your volume not moving? Are you losing more people than you're adding? Well, it all goes back to 2 things: connecting with humans and sharing oils, and training the team you already have. In this tiny version of the full Unstuck book and workbook, Diamond Sarah Harnish will walk you through the 5 core skills every single Young Living distributor needs for a thriving business. Number 1, how to listen. Number 2, how to talk to total strangers. Number 3, how to tap into friends of friends and focus on volume instead of failure. Number 4, how to run your prospects and your team through a training funnel and establish a system that can be copied. And number 5, how to surrender your business and just stamp out fear. The simple 5-day skills training will get your team back to the basics of sharing oils. Sharing equals growth. Growth equals freedom. The message is always about meeting the need. So Unstuck will train you how to get an audience. All right, how to get an audience. So this is an itty bitty little itty bitty book. I'm not sure we're going to be able to release it. My goal is to try to get it out for you guys for convention, but we'll see how quickly I can get through it. But after we finish boot camp this week, I'm going to be dedicated solely over the next 30 days to training you guys how to teach 101 classes using the new PowerPoint, using textable classes, using the 30-day challenge calendars that we have, and obviously the calendar for oils is fearless. So using some of these tools we have to really get your team off the ground and oiling with purpose and intent every single day and looking things up and taking their research into their own hands and pointing them in the right direction. So super, super, super stoked about some of the tools that we have coming out. They're just going to make it easier for you to be able to share oils. So running boot camps with your teams, we went over that. New resources on the page, I just showed you some of those things. What's going to be next after this week? We only have 5 days of boot camp left, and then we're all wrapped up, which is really sad. I'm going to miss you guys so much. We're going to go back into our once a week format after boot camp is done. So only a few more days of this, and then I'll just be back to the Tuesday night roundtables that we do. I'm going to cover some of the FAQ questions in Unstuck. I'm going to do obviously a demo of a full 101 class for you so that you can see it, and I'm going to put it up on the Unstuck page for you so that you guys can see how to teach it. We're going to do some fearless training next month to really get your team off the ground. We're going to train on textable classes. I've got Audible coming out very soon, so a lot of good things happening after boot camp is over. So what are we going to be covering this week? This week is amazing. This is my favorite week of boot camp. I've been looking forward to this week for 3 years, and now as I was writing this stuff, I could see us going through it on boot camp format, and I'm really excited. So tonight we're covering 3 chapters. Chapter 36 is things that don't work. We just spent 6 days covering classes that do work. Now we're going to cover some that don't. Leading sentences that start conversations, and then expanding your circles, one of my favorite chapters in the whole book, friends of friends, and what that looks like and how to tap into friends of friends. Then tomorrow, how to craft your personal story, and the Unstuck workbook is a wonderful tool for putting that together. Essential Rewards 101, if Essential Rewards is your Achilles heel and you can sign people and then they just keep falling off, you really do not want to miss the training tomorrow. I pulled from every single thing I could possibly find out there, every piece of literature, every training book, everything, lots of interviews to try to pull together what people are doing to get people on Essential Rewards, what words they're using, all of that. And that's going to be tomorrow night. And then closing a class in a way that leads to kit sales. So just good skills training. What are the words you use? You can fall back in your training. And then on Wednesday this week, so obviously if you're not watching this live, it's not going to be on Wednesday, but it'll be the next video. So video 18. We're going to talk about the grass is greener on the other side syndrome. I really love that chapter. It's no content I've ever written before. A spirit of contentment and just being happy with your rank right now and where you're at. We're gonna slay that and get you moving again. And the curse of expectations. We're going to talk surrender. Day 18, 19. This very, very powerful training this week. So be prepared for a lot of crying. Then I'm going to do a little pause and train you how I do coaching sessions with my leaders as part of the appendix. And then the very, very last night, it's just amazing. I'm just going to end with some hope. And I'm going to show you how we got my diamond leg from 12,000 to 19,000 OGV in 12 weeks, what it was exactly that we did. And I'm going to end with Gabe's story. And that was how we opened boot camp. We're going to end with my son for the very end of boot camp and just fire you up a little bit so you get out there and you go do all the things that you need to do to grow your business and build that willable legacy income for your babies. And then we commit the next month to all things 101, all things oils, all the oils things, and then jump into Thieves and Anxious Savvy and CBD. And we'll be releasing the CBD script and the PowerPoint and all of that coming up. So our oil of the night tonight is Hinoki. I try not to tell you too much of what's coming up because I want to just jump right into these videos for you, but I also want you to know where the resources are, where to find things. Right now, Unstuck is only available on Amazon, but in a very, very short period of time, I'm hoping by the end of boot camp, we'll see, we will be able to offer it in bulk so you can get it a little cheaper for your teams. If you want to order just one, the cheaper place is going to be to do it on Amazon. But if you want to get 3 of them or 5 of them and you want to work with your teams, we're going to steeply discount them on my website so you can get them in bulk. Amazon doesn't let me do that. You can't order it cheaper if you select more. So we open a publishing house in San Antonio that would give you guys some discounts if you want to run your leaders through the boot camp. That was why we started our publishing house. So if you go to my website, oilabilityteam.com, toward the end of this boot camp, you should be able to find bulk discounts on the books, and it's going to save you a little bit of cash. Okay. All right, here we go. Oil of the night. And this is the longest write-up I've ever had on an oil. So I'm going to try to do this very fast so that we can jump into the 3 chapters tonight, because we have some very important training to get to this evening. But hinoki is our oil of the night, and it's just a beautiful oil. It's a Japanese oil. And so I haven't told a lot of people this, but my minor in college, my major was theater, and then the Lord put me into radio for 23 years. But my background is actually, I have a theatrical background. So I've been in over 300 plays and musicals, done a lot of writing, a lot of stage adaptations, a lot of directing, a lot of acting, and all sorts of stuff. But then God shut that box and he put me in radio in Chicago and in New York. And I'm still anchoring in New York, even though I live in South Carolina right now. I commute back and forth when I fill in. But my minor when I was in college was Japanese. So it was 20 years ago, and I am no longer fluent in Japanese. I can read sentences, and if I have a really good kanji dictionary, I can look things up. But if you sit down and carry on a conversation in front of me, I'm going to be like, oh. But I love this because it just kind of brings me back to some of my college days where I was studying pretty hardcore. We had to memorize 50 kanji a week, and I still could barely read a newspaper by the time that I graduated, even with it as a minor. So this oil is sourced from Japan. It is from the wood of the Japanese hinoki tree, and it takes about a half a pound of hinoki to make a 5 ml bottle. So about a half a pound just for a bottle, this size. It's an amazing oil. It's a reloading oil. So I thought that fit very, very well into Unstuck because you guys are reloading your businesses. Many of you have been stuck for a while. It's time for a recharge, a remapping, a rewording of the things on your tongue, a reformulating of the things in your head, a redrawing of the lines around your business. And those people you've crossed off the list and that you say you can never, ever reach, it's time for you to redo that. And so hinoki is the oil of reloading. It's just a fantastic oil for getting some negative programming out of your head and just resetting things. It's a soothing oil. It works really, really well with bergamot or cypress or lemon. Also really good with sandalwood and frankincense. It is a tree oil. So I don't think I've showed you guys this, but this is how I organize my oils as an aromatherapist. I love to organize them how I use them. So let's see what we got. I've got some collections up here. This is the Freedom Collection, and this is the Reconnect Connection. I've got a collection. This is the Animal Sense. This is kind of my pain shelf, and this is all hormones, whether it's male or female hormones. This is all my kids' stuff. This is liver and organs. This is all breathing. This is calm, peace and calming, stress away, all the good, a vetiver. These are all brain oils, so rosemary, brain power, present time, peppermint, cedarwood, common sense. This is when I'm doing cleanses. So Ledum, Trauma Life, Juvaflex. It's also a little first aid. So Melrose, Helichrysum. These are all skin oils. So Divana, Australia, Ricofolia, all the way down to tea tree and geranium and Monstrante and Manuka and all the chamomiles. I have an entire shelf just for raindrop because I do a lot of raindrop on people. And these are all citruses. So Purification, Citronella. This is all immune. This shelf is all my immunity oils. One of my favorite immunity oils is Mountain Savory. It's one that we don't talk a lot about. Could do a whole training just on that. And then obviously roll-ons. My kids are making DNA with Wiki Sticks this week, and massage oils. Over on this shelf, I've got all my emotional ones up on the top here. I've been going through a lot of them for boot camp, so I got a lot pulled down. All the biblical oils are grouped together, including a second shelf for biblical oils that people don't think much about, like the Gift and Treasure of the Season, Three Wise Men, Sacred Angel is actually a mixing of White Angelica and Sacred Mountain. Sacred Mountain was Gary's prayer oil, also Palo Santo. That was the oils that he liked to pray to, so that's mixed in with my biblical oils. Exodus 2, Christmas Spirit, Myrrh, Sacred Frank, Elamis, Poor Man's Frankincense. These are all the tree oils. So I've got Honquai, Juniper, Blue Spruce, Balsam Fir, Black Spruce, Northern Lights, Pine, Sacred Mountain, White Light, Believe, Hinoki, Tsuga, and Evergreen Essence are all on this shelf. So Hinoki would be there. And then all of these shelves are all for internal oils, Vitality, and then some Ula oils, and then some yeah, specialty stuff. So I've got all of the precious oils upstairs by my bed. So my diamond oil and all that, those are all in my bedroom. But these are the ones that I use every single day. So Oil City, I love that. Yeah, we have racks like this all over the house based on how I use the oils. But I never look at an oil by its color. I never look at the oil by its alphabetized name. I look at it as how I use it. It's kind of like, I'm dating myself here, but when you walk through Blockbuster and you look at the adventure section, or you look at the mystery section, or the drama section, or the comedy section, I kind of group oils in that way because I can go up and say, all right, I need something respiratory. Do I want Raven? Do I want RC? Do I want Aroma Ease? Do I want peppermint? Like, what am I feeling? And I'll open up those bottles and I'll smell them, and my body will tell me what it wants. So Hinoki fits right into those tree oils. Kind of keep those all grouped together. So little science. This is really high. This oil is really, really high. I'm going to get me some diamond oil someday. Yes, Kathy, you absolutely are. Alpha-pinene. And delta-cadonine, both of those very, very high constituents in Hinoki oil. I'm not going to tell you what those do because this is a compliant training, but shoo, man, just go Google it, okay? You pop those words in Google, you're going to end up with way more than I could ever tell you on a video, so go do your own research on it. I can tell you it is a good alternative for those that are sensitive to tree oils. So if you put Northern Lights Black Spruce in the diffuser and you're just like, oh man, that's just so much. That's one of my favorite oils, so I would lay you flat if you said that in front of me. But if you were by yourself and you said it to yourself, this is a really good alternative because it's a little more mild, it's a little more lemony smelling. Hinoki is very durable. And it makes it reliable for construction. So well-built Hinoki structures can last 1,000 years or more. And I want longevity in my business, right? So this oil kind of builds that longevity into my business. The tree is sturdy. The tree is strong. It makes a good foundation. Whatever it does in nature, I want it to do with me, right? I want it to get my head in that place as though I was standing on 1,000 Hinoki trees. Hinoki essential oil is uplifting. It's cleansing. It's comforting. It opens the mind for new perspectives. It's great for alleviating tension. It's good for stress. It's great for breathing. You can put it on your back, your feet, or your chest for that. I love to use it to calm me down. It's great for hair growth. So just like rosemary, you can add a little bit of this to your shampoo and see what it does for you. It stimulates the immune system so that the immune system can do what God intended for it to do. It keeps bugs away. So I love that use for it. We'll talk about that more in a second. If you add it to your mop water, the bugs are going to hate your floor. It's really good for bug problems in the garden. So if you want to spritz some of your plants down with it, it's not going to hurt the plants. Bugs don't like it very much. You can condition wood doors, cutting boards, or other wood around the house to prevent rotting with Hinoki oil. And it's a really good brain oil. So if you know somebody with Parkinson's or Alzheimer's, please hear me. I'm not saying this is a cure for those. What I'm saying is it's going to help with quality of life. So it's good for those that need support for their brain. You guys know my story. I'm a traumatic brain injury survivor. I had 24 years of brain bleeds and a lot of dead tissue on the surface of my brain. And this oil, particularly for me, is a huge comfort. It helps me to focus. So if you have people in your life that just really need that extra support, this would be a good one to just pop in the diffuser and see how they respond to it and see if they like it. The pagoda at Horyuji Temple in Nara, Japan is over 1,000 years old. It was built in 600 AD, so even way more. It's like 1,400 years old, and it is still intact today. So it's built out of Hinoki trees, very, very strong wood. By law in Japan, this essential oil can only be extracted from trees that have fallen, just like Gary personally enacted that same rule for the Palo Santo trees in Ecuador. So when you guys go to the Platinum Retreat and you have the honor of going down to Ecuador yourself, you'll see when you're walking through the forest, when the trees have fallen over, that's when they go and they harvest those Palo Santo trees. And in Hawaii, the Royal Hawaiian sandalwood trees, they have to be 90% dead, we were told. So those are just part of our sustainability practices in this incredible company. So not just Hinoki falling over, Palo Santo falling over, and then also 90% dead for our sandalwood trees. I think that's It's pretty cool. So what does hinoki smell like? It's evergreen smelling with these lemony facets to it. Hinoki is one of the most prized types of wood in Japan. This tree is a type of cypress that grows only in the part of the world where it's considered a sacred wood. The wood of the tree is lemon scented and distinguished by its light color, and it's straight grain. So Young Living says, if you go to the Young Living website, they will tell you that with its light woodsy scent and naturally occurring constituent alpha pinene, we talked about that. What does it mean? You got to go Google it. I can tell you that I personally use hinoki as part of my protocol for inflammation, as well as anti-inflammatory foods. And I get a good walk every day. Today I did a 5-mile walk to get my lymph moving for inflammation also. And I love the Joov. It's Joov for red light therapy. I've got a small one for my home. But in addition to those protocols, I also love to rub hinoki on my skin. It is steam distilled from Japanese cypress trees. Hinoki essential oil has been historically used for refreshing the soul. Remember, I told you it's a good reset oil. Steam distilled from Japanese cypress, so it's a species of cypress. So if you picture those cypress trees, those tall, skinny pine trees, hinoki is very like that. Hinoki essential oil has been used historically for refreshing the soul. Today, the oil is used to create a calm, relaxing ambiance that can help to increase spiritual awareness. Now, this is where I always tick all the Christians off. And I am one, so I ticked myself off, right? So what? Increased spiritual awareness. What on earth does that even mean? Most Christians are like, all right, I'm done. Click, bye-bye, Sarah. Let's just go into the Word. Let's go into the Bible, and let me just clear some of that away so that you aren't flipping out when you read that stuff in Young Living's catalog or you see it on the website. Let's talk about spiritual awareness for just a second, because I know those are really creepy words. So let's just get it out of the way. In my biblical oils lecture, this is one of the lectures that I'm going to be releasing when we do the game plan script book. I told you I'm not writing any more books until I get done with Royal Crown Diamond. But what I didn't tell you is I actually wrote the script book before I wrote Unstuck. So that book is already in production. I already have it done. I don't know if they're going to have all of the work done, the grammar people and all that before convention, but it was finished before Unstuck, so should be coming soon. But in my biblical oils lecture, I actually talk specifically about this. Did you know that spiritual awareness is actually scriptural? So you don't have to flip out. In the catalog, when I first started reading the catalog, it really wigged me out because some of the descriptions in the Young Living catalog are kind of weird. So why does Young Living say that oils can enhance spirituality? Can't only Christ enhance spirituality? Well, here's an example of the 3 wise men from the Young Living catalog. This is what it actually said in the catalog from Young Living. This blend was formulated to open the subconscious mind through pineal stimulation to help release deep-seated trauma. These oils bring a sense of grounding and uplifting through emotional release and elevated spirituality and consciousness. So there's that elevated spirituality line. It's the same line that we're seeing with hinoki. Now, 3 Wise Men is one of my favorite emotional release oils of all time. Matter of fact, it is my favorite. I actually like it more than Inner Child, Sarah, and Release, which is saying a lot because those are very powerful oils. But all I can go by is what I've seen on my table when I'm doing emotional release sessions on people, and I see more with this oil than I do with the other oils. So when I'm doing a raindrop, I'm going to add to the spine for emotional release, very powerful. And that oil specifically, 3 Wise Men, was based on the biblical story of the 3 wise men's gifts to the newborn Savior. It contains frankincense and myrrh that was given to Christ, but also the powerhouse oil of sandalwood and juniper and spruce. So here's the question. Can oils really help your prayer time? Can they really help ground you? Can they really help focus you? Can they really bring you closer to the Lord? That's what spiritual awareness would be, right? Bringing you closer to the Lord. I just put a post up earlier today. I'm running a contest. So if you're watching this live, I'm going to pick those winners as soon as this video's over. But I was running a contest and I said, what's your favorite oil? I said, I love Valor because it's just a great grounding oil for me. And my doctor back in New York, his wife got on and she's like, so let me get this straight. Valor gives you courage. She's kind of, not really believing what I'm saying. And I said, well, let's go back into the Bible, okay? Because God created these plants. God created the essential oils. So let's see what the scripture says. I'm going to throw out all my devotions. I'm going to throw out all my secondary sources. I'm going to throw out all my commentaries. I'm going to throw out my entire aromatherapy library. Let's just toss all of it and just go right into scripture and take a look at what the Bible says about the plants that God created. So I've cross-referenced a lot of this stuff for writing the Biblical Oils lecture. It was the hardest lecture I have ever written. And I wanted to give you guys just a little sampling of it tonight. I know it doesn't have a lot to do with with our training. We have a lot of good training to get to, business training tonight, but I think that training on the oils is just as important for your business because it's kind of what we do, right? So Hinoki, it talks about creating spiritual awareness. So to get your answers on whether or not oils enhance spirituality, let's just open the word. Let's go right into it. In the very first book in Genesis, God gives Moses the holy anointing oil. That's what he calls it. It was used for several things. It was used to wipe down every object in the temple, which is really interesting because oils in that blend were very high in sesquiterpenes and in phenols, which would have acted as an antiseptic. So it means that God was literally keeping the objects in the temple physically clean with that blend. He was disinfecting them, right? A lot of those oils are the same oils included in the thieves blend. Thieves, we know, has been scientifically proven to kill 99.9% of all germs and bacteria. So it's kind of interesting that, God even said in the Old Testament, I want you to basically use these oils as a sanitizer, right? So with the animal sacrifices that were happening in the Old Testament, it literally was necessary for their safety to have every object wiped down with essential oil. So you can go right into the book of Genesis and read this mandate from God. Now, here's another thing. They were blatantly used to enhance spirituality also. God did not just tell Moses to wipe down the temple. He was actually told to burn the oils to create a smoke specifically to be used as an incense to boost prayer. Pete just mentioned Oils of the Bible by Dr. David Stewart. That still is my number one favorite aromatherapy book of all time. If there's one aromatherapy book that you guys indulge in the entire year, I would highly recommend David Stewart's Healing Oils of the Bible book. It's just a phenomenal book. So I'm going to turn this around and just give you some scripture references if you want to write these down. These scripture references talk about oils being used to enhance spirituality. God didn't just tell Moses to wipe down the table. He was told to burn the oils, to make a smoke, to use as an incense to boost prayer. So Numbers 16:16, and Moses said to Korah, this is a direct quote right out of scripture, tomorrow you and all of your company be present before the Lord, you and they, as well as Aaron, let each take his censer. Censer is basically like an old time diffuser, and put incense in it. And each of you bring a censer before the Lord, 250 censers, both you and Aaron, each with a censer. So every man took a censer, put fire in it, laid incense on it, and stood at the door of the tabernacle of the meeting with Moses and Aaron. And then the glory of the Lord appeared to all the congregation. So can you guys imagine that? Oh my word, like one diffuser lit, two diffusers lit. They've got these little fires going. Then there's 200 plus people sitting there holding these, sensors up into the air across this room, hundreds of people in it. And when the last one was lit, it says the glory of the Lord appeared before everybody in the room. That's like a packed out house in a church. That's amazing. God literally responded to them physically because of their obedience in getting those oils going. So you can't get any closer than him being in the room, right? That would be enhanced spirituality times 100, right? Having God right there with you. So Exodus 21. It says, and you shall take some of the blood that is on the altar and some of the anointing oil and sprinkle it on Aaron and his garments and on his sons and on the garments of his sons with him, and he and his garments shall be hallowed. So it doesn't say that they're going to be clean or that they're going to be sanitized. It says they're holy. They're holy in the presence of the Lord. That's pretty cool. Exodus 30:22-33. I love this one. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying also, take for yourself quality spices, 500 shekels of liquid myrrh, half as much sweet-smelling cinnamon, 250 shekels, 250 shekels of sweet-smelling cane, and 500 shekels of cassia, and a hin of olive oil, and you shall make from these a holy anointing oil. You shall anoint the tabernacle of meeting and the ark of testimony.
the table and its utensils, the altar of incense, the altar of burnt offerings with all of its utensils, and the laver and its base. You shall consecrate them, that they may be most holy. Whatever touches them must be holy, and you shall anoint Aaron and his sons and consecrate them, that they may minister to me as priests. And you shall speak to the children of Israel, saying, this shall be a holy anointing oil to me throughout your generations. It shall not be poured on man's flesh, nor shall you make any other like it according to its composition. It is holy, and it shall be holy to you. Whoever compounds any like it, or whoever puts any of it on an outsider, shall be cut off from his people. Does that sound like the oil of an antiseptic? All right, the oil was specifically designed for communion with God. I mean, guys, you can't translate that any other way. Exodus 30, 22 to 33, go look it up. It's right in the Old Testament. This oil was designed for communion with God. And what struck me was that God issued the edict himself. He literally said to use it, quote, that they may minister to me as priests, to talk with God. The oil was for being close with him. All right, that's spiritual awareness, right? That's being in the room with God, just like the first verse that we looked at. Being close to him, talking to him, having him with you, breathing that oil in, just like bam, woo, huge moment. So, whenever you read that spiritual awareness thing, stop flipping out about it, because it actually talks about it in the Old Testament. God made the plants. Nobody gets credit for the design of the plants except for our Lord and Savior. Nobody. Right? It's only him. God designed the hinoki tree. God designed the trees that were in Three Wise Men. God designed the frankincense resin. God designed the sandalwood tree. God designed the lemon rinds. God designed all of the plants that we derive every single one of these and these oils from, right? He made them all, and he's the only one that gets credit for it. And not only that, but he told you in his word to burn the oils, which is what they would have done back then. But now we have the knowledge of diffusers and new technology to breathe that oil in. He told us to inhale that oil so that we could be closer to him. Like he said it. We didn't say it. Young Living's catalog repeated it, but didn't originally say it. It's literally in the book of Exodus. So, don't get wigged out when Young Living uses language saying spiritual awareness, or saying, increase at closeness with God, or grounding, bring you closer to God. When they use words like that, they're literally pulling it right from scripture. So stop flipping out when you read that stuff, especially if you're Christian, all right? And just get into the word, research what the Bible says about essential oils. It's very clear about essential oils. And hinoki is a really good example about that. You don't need to be afraid of this stuff. It's not creepy fringe stuff. It's the stuff that the Lord made, and nobody gets the credit for the plants except for him. Okay? So when you read it in the catalog, don't wig out about it. Don't worry about the spiritual awareness or all that kind of stuff. I mean, and there's so much more in my Oils of the Bible lecture. You guys have asked me to teach that class. Maybe I might do it this summer. We'll see. I'm going to take kind of a season of rest and then start running for Crown Diamond. So I don't know if I'm going to teach any of that yet, but my heart right now is in Unstuck. It's in business builder training, and that's what we're going to jump into tonight. I'm sorry for the 20-minute intro into our business training tonight, but I wanted to get some of that stuff out of the way, because I know many of you guys look at the catalog and you're like, all right, I am all in Young Living. Like, I've seen the oils work. I love the oils. I love one ingredient things, but some of this stuff just really kind of rubs me the wrong way. When I read words in the catalog, or I see things on the website, you're telling me to be safe, use the wording on the website, but when I come across wording like that, how can I talk about that kind of stuff? Well, you have permission to talk about the oils in that way because the Bible talks about the oils in that way. Okay, so don't be afraid of it. Just get out there and use the words that the Lord has given you to share his stuff. And this is his stuff. So back to hinoki oil. Now we're going to wrap it up. Another great oil for spiritual awareness. There you go. I said it out loud. In other words, talking with God, getting that oil in the diffuser, breathe it in, open your Bible, get lost in the word, get lost in your prayers to your Lord and your Savior, pass the stuff on. So I was a Japanese minor in college. Watashi no Sara desu. All right, my name is Sarah. I'm going to attempt to speak some Japanese to you guys tonight. If you guys speak Japanese, please don't beat me up. It's been 20 years since I've done this. But there were two sentences that I thought I would pass along to you this evening in Japanese. Let's see if I can do this. Watashi wa wakai ribunyu bijines o ko chiku suru no ga daisuke. I love to build my Young Living business in Japanese. それを構築する際の方法は友達の友達です. Which is, the best way to build it is friends of friends. And that's what we're going to be training on tonight is friends of friends. And it's one of my favorite topics in the entire book because it's how I used to be able to build to silver. I'm going to show you exactly what I did. So we're going to cover chapter 36, 37, and 38 tonight. I can only count to 10. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I remember that much. I don't know if I could count to 100 though. That would be tricky. So chapter 36 is things that do not work in Young Living. And I'm going to go through this list pretty quickly because it's really extensively outlined in the book, in Unstuck. But I want to hit on a couple of things and then I want to get to the next chapter, which is leading sentences that start conversations. It's how you can talk to your cold market. If you're afraid, get some of your spiritual awareness oil on, some of your Hinoki oil on, and go be bold. I'm going to give you some really bold homework in the workbook. If you guys have been doing that workbook, you know it's a butt kicking. It's a lot deeper than the game plan workbook was. And then we're going to wrap it up with friends of friends tonight. So just some wonderful training. There are no chapters missing in the workbook. I know many of you guys have asked me about that. For the 15 types of classes, I did not write 15 different chapters because what I want you to do is experiment with 3 of those different types and see which one best fits your personality and which one you get the most results from. So maybe textable classes you like the idea of more than any other class and you send a bunch of texts out and you get a bunch of responses and you're running them through the funnel of aromatherapy training and prospecting training in the Diamond Deck, but you're getting results from sitting down with one person at a coffee shop. And you're actually signing kits using class 1 and not so much using the textable class format. But then other people might use the textable class format and see huge results from it. So what I did was I just designed a worksheet that you could use to kind of test out these 15 different types of classes. So you're going to see it go from chapter 21 to 36 because I didn't write assignments for every single class because you guys aren't necessarily going to go write a blog to launch your business. And you're not going to necessarily go do a vendor event to launch your business. Maybe you're just going to get back to the things that you did when you hit star and senior star, and that's sit in front of people, all right, and connect with them and share oils. Maybe you're going to do the impersonal loan, whatever you did that got you the rank in the first place. So you're not missing chapters in your book. You just have a set of worksheets to test out those 15 different types of chapters. You don't need to write Amazon. You don't need to get your book reprinted. You're going to get the same book in the mail, all right? So chapter 36 is things that do not work. All right. The workbook makes me dig deep and I kind of do not like that, Nina. I love you so much. It does. And if you do those assignments, you're going to get really good at Young Living. So get out there and go put some pressure on yourself and do some of the skills training. Like get out there, go accept the Starbucks challenge and some of the things that are in that Unstuck workbook because it's really going to get you comfortable talking to strangers and opening up conversations and listening to people. It's great. Ellen says, I'm getting back to the basics, but I do love the textable classes. Well, Ellen, you're going to be super happy either tomorrow or the next day because I think we're going to have all the textable classes loaded on the website, the new ones loaded on the website in the next 24 to 48 hours. So make sure you guys are checking back for the textable classes. All right, so we just spent 6 days going through all the different types of sharing that I have seen results with. And I told you to put this book together. This is a beast. Do you see this thing? This is a big book. I mean, we're talking like 460, 470 pages in Unstuck. It's almost twice the original size of Game Plan. It was a lot of research to put it together. Game Plan I researched for 4 months. This book I researched for 3 years. So it was a lot of work to compile the data. And I interviewed over 8,000 people to put the book together, and all 8,000 fell into those 15 class category types. There wasn't a single person that was outside of those 15 types of classes. Sometimes they had different names, sometimes they had different tools, but generally it followed the same format. If they were using textable classes to get to silver, they pretty much all, did relatively the same thing. If they were building with in-person classes, they might have different words that they used, or they might call it different things. If they did a make and take class, they might use slightly different supplies, but it was still a type of make and take class, okay? So generally the same format. Now here are the things that I found that did not work for them. So when I interviewed them, I asked them, what did you What did you do that worked? What got you the kit sale? And what did you do that just cost you time? You're in a labyrinth and it was a dead end. You hit a wall. You didn't get anywhere with these things. And so I asked them what they did and what they didn't do. We just spent the last 6 days training on what they did. And any of those are viable methods for building. You know the pros, you know the cons, you know what to watch out for. You know where you can get burned on some of those classes, but just because you get burned in doing it a certain way, like making sure it's duplicatable, doesn't mean it's not a viable class method. You just have to stay away from some of those pitfalls while you're building using that method, right? Making sure you can be copied. But these are things that did not work. Like when they tried these methods, they really just didn't do anything for their business, didn't lead to any OGV growth, ended up being a rabbit trail, cost them time, and some people ended up walking away from the business. Matter of fact, when people walk away from network marketing and they're rabbit trailing, usually it's because of something on this list. So let me just run through the list really quickly, and I'll let you delve into it more when you get into chapter 36 on your own tonight as homework, and then we'll go right into leading sentences that start conversations. Yeah, Debbie, it's so important to make sure that you can be copied. Becky says, my book's one of your betas, so I'm really going to have to search to answer the workbook. You might just want to invest in the full book because the full book is like twice the size of the beta. Beta is a collector's edition. It's a special copy from my heart to yours. Okay, so things that don't work. Writing books. Writing books does not get you to Crown Diamond. Writing books does not get you to Royal Crown Diamond or Silver or any other rank. Since I've been writing books, I've been holding rank, right? I have not, I had game plan written when I was pretty much a diamond. We finished boot camp and 2 weeks later I hit diamond. So it was already done. I released it 12 weeks before I hit diamond. So the groundwork was done. The team had momentum and we hit diamond from the team running a game plan boot camp, but it did not build me beyond diamond, right? And I'm still not crown yet and I wrote another book. So what does that tell you? Writing books doesn't equal a rank. And I make 5 times more with my Young Living downline than I've ever made with Game Plan or Unstuck or any of the other tools that I have generated. I don't generate tools to make money from you guys. I generate tools so that you guys can get to diamond because your rank weighs very heavily on my heart. And I know that you have what it takes to be able to do this because I had like this much talent and I was able to do it. So I know that you're able to do it also if you're not distracted and doing things that don't actually grow your business. So if you have a book on your heart, what I would tell you is put it in a box. All right, put it in a box because, all right, your life has to be in a certain order. And we talk about this in Game Plan. God, spouse, kids, work. And then I would say right after that, pleasure things. Right after that. All right, pleasure things. Nina says, I'm so thankful you did though. I know you are, but I'm going to hold off until we hit Royal because it's time for us to be able to rank up and take care of my family. We can take care of our family very well with a diamond income, but it's time for us to hit Royal and set a good example for you guys. It doesn't mean you're never going to write the books that the Lord has put on your heart. It's just that those are things like gardening or running or, it's a hobby. It's something you enjoy. It's something that you love. And hobbies should not be above the protection and safety of your family, right? Hobbies should not be above providing provision for your family, making sure your family's safe. Like that's out of order, and then God's not going to bless the work of your business. He hasn't blessed my business since I wrote Game Plan or Unstuck. Our business has basically held. It's been stagnant since these books have been released. I'm about to run like no man's business for Crown Diamond this spring, summer, and fall to go chase that rank. But that doesn't happen while I'm writing books. While I'm writing books, my life is on hold and your life will be on hold too. So I'd really challenge you, don't do that. All right, don't do that. You get out there and you build that freedom for your family so you know if anything happens to you that your babies are protected. I mean, God says in his word that our life is a vapor, that we don't know how long we have. You guys might have till 6 o'clock tonight. 6 o'clock tomorrow. You don't know how long you're going to be on this earth. But I know that if I built this willable legacy income for my babies, that check is going to keep coming. It's going to keep taking care of my family. Even between silver and gold rank, even that level, it's still going to take care of my family if something's happened to me. And that's better than a 401k and that's better than an insurance policy. But you don't have that if you're out there doing things that don't grow your business. Right? Books may have been a calling, yes. Yes, I think that books were a calling, and God was really clear with me about putting Unstuck together. I tried to stop writing Unstuck 9 times, and he just kept hitting me and hitting me and hitting me. He said, no, there's going to be people that get left behind if you don't get this book done. There's going to be people that are going to give up and quit their business before you finish it. And there's going to be people that if you wait until you get to Royal that will never return to network marketing if you don't publish and print this book. And so basically John and I gave up our crown and Royal paycheck knowing what sacrifice that would be to get this book done, because I didn't want people to get left behind. So you can bless us back by sharing it. Share it with your teams. Get the book out there. Share it on your Mingle pages. Share it in the Young Living groups that you're in. Talk about what the book has done for you and how it's focused you. Talk about, it blessing your business and OGV and kit sales and the things that you've learned from it, and make sure that other people are aware of it so that our work isn't going for naught. So the people are blessed. It's not about us, but so that people are blessed, right? But I could tell you now that I'm done, I'm gonna go run for Crown and build that income for our family. But writing books, really, truly, well, thank you for the encouragement. Oh, you guys are gonna make me cry. I was at the point of quitting until you started this boot camp. Making books is a terrific distraction. And I would challenge you that if he's got things like that, any type of hobby on your heart, that you just pause. Okay, I love theater. Man, do I love theater. I would love to be on a stage. And I remember when my kids started doing shows again, I was just like, I just want to get back on stage again. And the woman that was doing my hair, giving me a haircut, she said, Sarah, this is your season of nursing, and it's your season of taking care of babies, and it's your season of homeschooling, and it's your season of radio. And that's what God has for you in this season. So you just have to put that love of theater on a shelf for right now. And I go, yeah, but by the time my kids are gone, I'm going to be playing like the grandma roles and stuff. And she goes, maybe that's what God has for you, and you have to be okay with that. And so it was a hard adjustment for me to say, okay, and it's been 20 years since I've been in a show. I've done makeup behind the scenes for my kids, and I've been the theater mom that takes my kids and brings potluck meals for the everybody during Tech Week and all that, but I haven't actually been on stage in over 2 decades now. And it is because that's not the season that the Lord has me in. The Lord has me in a season of my children, in high school and getting ready to leave the nest, and a season of marrying my children off, and a season of being grandma, and a season of, at this moment, writing books, but also about a season about to run for Crown and Royal Crown Diamond. So ask yourself, is this a nudging that I'm getting from the Lord, or do I really need to put the protection of my family first and be diligent and faithful and exercise self-control and discipline and put my life in the right order, because God will open the door for those desires of my heart when I have done things the way He has laid out in His Word. God, spouse, kids, work, right? Oh, you're on a stage every night with us. I love you, Patty. I do miss theater so much, but I guess I am. There's like 70,000 of you guys on this page. So writing books, and guys, it's not just writing books. You know what I mean. It's anything that you love doing, all right, that you just want to get out there. And I'm not saying don't take downtime. Make sure that you give your body time to rest and regroup. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when that consumes your ability to do your business, then stuff is flipped. Right? It's out of order, and you don't want things out of order, because then the Lord's going to bless your business, right? He's going to bless your business. So making recipe books, doing things like that, just really time consuming that you don't need to be doing. Making folders. I was a teacher before I went into, I've got such an itchy nose tonight. Just keep itching it. Before I went into radio, I was a public school teacher, so I taught 4th and 8th grade before I became a homeschool mom. I vowed I would never homeschool my children. So I have that teaching background, and I want to give all the folders and all the printables and all the articles and all the science and all the VitaFlex points and all the charts and all the raindrop training and all the things, right? That's not duplicatable. You can't copy that stuff. So just bring your starter kit in, sit down in a chair, and read the script. And if you have a laptop and an HDMI cable and some internet access, you can make your phone a hotspot, or just download the PowerPoint to your computer, then plug your computer into the screen and play the PowerPoint while you're reading the script. But it's got to be copied, right? It's got to be copied. OMG, I can't even say how many folders I've made. No more folders. Yeah. Why don't you come on tomorrow night in costume? I love you, Robin. How many jobs have I had? Like over 50 jobs. I have detasseled corn. I have delivered pizza. I have been fired from multiple restaurants. I almost burned down 2 restaurants. I worked at a printing house. I typed addresses all day long because I can type really fast. Let's see, I was an English teacher. I was a creative writing teacher. I was a speech teacher. Then I've worked at 39 radio stations. I have my own talk show. I've done a lot of things in my life, but you know what? Nothing that's blessed me like Young Living. And that's why I do these trainings, is because I really, really want you to be able to get that blessing too. So making folders, not duplicatable. Just let it go, guys. Let it go. Let it go. You want to do those things for your leaders. You want to do it as a rank up gift for somebody. You want to do it at your leaders retreats. You want to do it for somebody who's on ER at 300 PV and they've been to the core 5 classes and you just want to give them some more in-depth training. Go for it. Like, those are places where you can do it. In your 101s, don't do that, because you're going to scare all your leaders away. And don't pour all your time into it. Like, 80% of your time has got to be spent in teaching classes, right? Bringing new people in, all right? New people in. So giving your oils away, sometimes by the bottle, like the whole bottle, just giving them away. You know who you are. You know who you are. Don't do that. People can't copy it. Can't copy it, so don't do that, all right? Give a couple drops away. Put a little roll of stress away on their arm. Do not give them your entire bottle, because even if there's an inkling in the back of their mind that they might do this as a business, they just saw how you reached them and gave them a whole bottle and they can't afford it. So they're thinking in the back of their mind, I can't copy that. Right? I can't copy that. Expensive, time-consuming rank-up gifts. What have you guys have done with your expensive, time-consuming rank-up gifts? I have many drams of oil sitting in drawers, and many trophies and many things, like lots of handwritten notes. I love handwritten notes, but realistically, I see it, it touches my heart, but it doesn't inspire me to move. What inspires me to move is making sure that my kids go to bed with their heat on every night, and they don't have to sleep in their jackets, and there's grass-fed beef on my table and pastured chickens. Like, the rank and the income and what I can do for my family and the protection of my family after I'm gone, that's what keeps me moving every day, not that really nice rank up gift that you spent a month preparing and hand stitching for me. All right, so, ask yourself how much. Honestly, rank up gifts, I just gift them business tools so that they keep moving. So all my stars get Ignite. That's a really quick, simple, itty-bitty, tiny book, keeps them moving. Every star, whenever they hit the rank of star, I give them the Ignite book. Whenever they hit the rank of senior star, I give them game plan and the game plan workbook, because it gives them a whole overview of the business. When they hit executive, then I will give them Unstuck. I give them Unstuck in the workbook, because I just want to keep them moving. I want to keep that momentum going. They're one rank away from a huge income that's going to give them the wow factor, way beyond what their ER order is every single month. So I want to keep them doing the things that got them to executive in the first place, no matter how long it took them. When they get to silver, I do different gifts for them, but I love to give them a game planner. Usually I'll give them an Aroma Complete case. I'll make a special roll-on for them. Sometimes I'll send them some farm girl flowers, but I also still like to keep it on business tools. So I might give them a couple of Ignites for their team, so they can pass that on as their leaders are ranking up. Whatever you choose to do, I love business tools because I think it keeps them forward thinking. So don't do really, really time-consuming rank-up gifts. Playing around with oils. And I'm not saying getting your reference guide and your catalog out isn't a really, really good idea. It is. What I'm talking about is DIY supplies, stickers, crafting. You guys know my thoughts on succulent diffuser classes, all that kind of stuff. It's just a time waster. And if you want to play around with different recipes because you got different things going on in your home and you're just learning how to use your oils, that's one thing. But sitting around, like getting on Pinterest and making all these crafts all around your house and really pretty oils racks and neat oil signs hanging all over the place, and it's just go teach classes, right? Go teach classes. Get to Diamond. That's way more important than wasting tons of time with all these craft things. Spending more than you make. That's really big. It's going to put a rift in your marriage and really tick off your husband. So don't do that. All right, don't do that. 6 aromatherapy certifications or 1 aromatherapy certification. You guys know I went for 6 of them before I hit Diamond. And you know what? None of them helped me to get to Diamond. None, like not even 1 certification, not even 1. And you're sitting there going, but Sarah, like there's so much to know and I really want to learn a whole lot more than I already know now. That's great. But when you hit a rank, then reward yourself with 1 aromatherapy book. Read that book over the weekend and then get back to sharing oils. Do not invest in certifications. Number 1, your leaders are going to think they need to get certified, and that's going to way slow down your business momentum. Number 2, you're going to waste time studying genus, species, all sorts of things, going out and taking tests and reading big binders full of information that really don't do anything for your business. A lot of the stuff in the schools they're teaching opposite of what we've learned in Young Living, especially when you're talking ingestion of oil. So you're going to sit there and you're going to question some of the things you've been trained on with Young Living, and you're going to get confused. You're not going to be able to articulate things back to your team. So it's really a waste of time, to be honest with you. It truly, really is a waste of time. When I look at what I did to build a Diamond, my genus and species training had nothing to do with me being able to rank up. Literally nothing. I just kept taking the same script, the 101 script, and taught it hundreds of times. That's how I ranked up. I got in front of people. I listened to their needs. I met them in that place. I opened up that door. LaDonna says, I'm buying a massage table. Why? Why? Truly, why? You could do a 3-minute raindrop on somebody, a little mini raindrop by dropping the oils down their spine, and feathering it in and doing it on your bed versus dropping $100 on a massage table. That's actually one of the things I'm going to talk about in a second. What do you need that for to teach 101 classes? How does that further your business, and how does that lead to freedom? That falls into the category of writing books, right? Those are things you want to do that are going to detract from you building your business. They're gonna slow down the time it takes for you to be able to rank up. So don't do it. Don't do it. Don't chase the aromatherapy certifications. Don't chase the letters after your name. Just grab the 101 script, sit down on a couch, and teach class. That's how you build your business. I swear to you guys, all that extra stuff, those bells and whistles, they do not build your legacy income. And they're going to scare your leaders. They're going to feel like they have to duplicate it. Now you've got these titles after your name. They don't have the titles. They can't be you. They're running to you for every single question. They're wasting 6 months of their life going and doing all these certifications that they don't need. When I do step way out of my comfort zone and share in the business, I'm afraid I have verbal diarrhea. Yet that's another side effect to getting a certification. You do get verbal diarrhea. We didn't start this training tonight for 20 minutes because I gave you some of my aromatherapy knowledge. I didn't want to do that, but I didn't want you guys to wig out about spiritual awareness with Hinoki oil. But you can word vomit on people. If you're seeking all this education, you actually don't need it. All you need to know is I put peppermint in my tummy and oh my word, I felt better. That's really, truly. My kid couldn't breathe very well. He had something going on, so I put some Raven in his diffuser. It's amazing. He went right to sleep. That's all you need to know, right? As a mom, do you need to know about the genus and species of oils and have letters after your name to understand that when you put Raven into the diffuser, your little guy's going to fall asleep better? Do you need to know that? Truly? Ask yourself why you're pursuing that kind of stuff. You're pursuing it because you feel that it will make you more confident in your sharing. When you actually share from a better place when you don't have all that wisdom and knowledge because you're in the same place they are. And they're going to feel like they have to have all that knowledge to be able to get off the ground. They're going to be afraid to order. They have to know the number of drops and the amount in the capsule and all these things when really you learn most of what you learn by playing and you want them to play. How do you set the example of them playing when you're going out getting certifications, right? Yeah, simplify is one of my words this year. I haven't narrowed it down. I've got 10 words, but simplify is one of them. Personal experience is the best teacher, and you're going to learn so much more just by horsing around. So horse around and train your team to horse around. How or at what point do you initiate business talk with people? Very first class. I say, if you want to learn to get your oils for free, go read the Game Plan Mini. I gave it to you in your purple bag. Go read that. I will write you in 2 days and talk to you about that book. All right, that's your homework. So yeah, stop going for the certifications. And here's a question I just want to put. In your mind. Did Gary Young have a college degree? Did he have a college degree? No, he didn't. The guy's a multimillionaire. His wife's a multimillionaire. Did he have a college degree? He didn't. He didn't need all the letters. Didn't need all the things. Didn't need all the things. Most of what Gary knew, he knew because he was the oils whisperer. He could smell constituents across the other side of the room. He did pursue further education, but not before he already started his business. Not before he was already horsing around, before he was already making tinctures and creating all sorts of supplements and all sorts of stuff, way before he had any kind of knowledge about what he was doing. And so, I actually wear that as a badge of honor. If this guy can be a millionaire without even going to college, then why do we need all the letters after our name? You know what? If you really want to pursue that stuff, go pursue it after your Royal Crown Diamond. Make it your personal goal. Hey, when I hit the rank of diamond, I'm going to go do raindrop certification and I'm going to get raindrop certified. I'm not even going to tell my team what I'm doing. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to put it on my business cards. I'm not going to open my classes with it because I don't want to scare away my leaders, but I'm just going to go reward myself with that after I achieve the certain rank. And in silent, it'll be between me and God. I went, I did it. Nobody's going to know what kind of training I have. Right? And when I hit Crown Diamond, then I'm going to go pursue this. What's the fastest way to learn the kinds of things that help you identify the oils to offer people's needs? Robin, I just opened the reference guide. The fastest way is if somebody comes to me and their knee hurts, I open the guide and we look up knee together. If they come to me and their ear hurts, we sit down next to each other and I hand them the reference guide and they open it and go to the letter E and they look up ear. And then they rub purification around the outside of their ear, right? It literally is that complicated. So when you make yourself the expert, everybody feels like they need to be the expert. And you can't diagnose stuff anyway because you don't have a medical background, and it puts you in a dangerous place. So don't put yourself in a dangerous place. Just train people how to fish. That's it. Just train. I mean, you learn how to fish. You train them how to fish. Right? Ruth says, my students only listen to my simple classes. That's all they want. That's true. It's true. Otherwise, it's information overload. When you learn all the genus and species and can say all the scientific names and do all the things, then there's no reason, right? People can't copy that. So, all right, aromatherapy certifications, having an entire oil store, hauling the store around. Can I show you guys what I did? I know you can see it in the book, but I want to show you in full color. This was what I did when I was a senior star executive. Guys, that was for one class. Do you see that? I told you that I write these books to show you my mistakes, to show you where I mess up. Look at all those thieves spray bottles, all the different salves I made. I could get so nailed by compliance for this kind of stuff. All the roll-ons I made, all the things that I was putting out on the table and all that. Do you see that? That's for one 101 class. Do you know how hard it would have been for my leaders to replicate all that stuff? Do you see that spans the length of my entire kitchen? That's like 15 feet full of baskets, full of stuff. That is crazy, right? I collect all of my mistakes and put them on my books so you guys don't go out and do the things that I was doing. And that's the truth, guys. That stuff did not lead to starter kits. Actually, what it did is it scared people away, and then they didn't buy the starter kit because they already had a bottle of Thieves Cleaner. Why would they need to get the Thieves Kit? All right. They already had the things that they wanted, so why would they need to be able to, to order anything off the website if I already am the person providing those things? They already have a mini kit of everything, so why do they need to order from Young Living? Why do you need to be the store? Young Living is an amazing store. Let them. Yeah, Nina says, I would have run. Exactly. I did it all wrong. How did I afford it? I blew my entire paycheck. Everything I was making. And then from the sales of that stuff, which also is against policies and procedures, super, super illegal, but I was blue and I didn't read the rules, right? That's bad. Just because you're blue and you don't read the rules doesn't mean that you don't have to follow the rules because you didn't read them, right? You're not allowed to take Young Living oil and put it in things and then sell it. I didn't know that when I first started my business. So I did it wrong. Now I walk in with literally my script and my kit. And I sit down, I just read the script, I share them the kit, I get the oils up their nose, I lead them to ordering off Young Living's website. There's nothing that I'm making in my classes. So don't be an oil store. All right, yeah, it's like Sample City, it is. Don't be an oil store. They don't need it. If they want it, they're going to smell it already. If they want to put a drop on their hand, okay, that's fine. But you don't need to make all that stuff up because that did not get me to diamond. Building that big old store did not get me to diamond. Mini kits did not get me to diamond. None of that stuff got me to diamond. What got me to diamond was listening to their needs, saying, oh, your son needs some Raven in his diffuser. Why don't you take my diffuser and go use it tonight and see how he does? Whoa, wow, that was incredible. My son slept through the night. That's amazing. Whoa, you know what? I think this is the answer you're looking for. Bada bing, bada boom, youngliving.com. Here's my distributor number. Ding, 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 ding. Bam, on Essential Rewards. That's how it worked. Not by them buying a whole bunch of stuff that I made. That doesn't lead to longevity and freedom, right? So other blunders, investing in more than one network marketing company. You're going to be the jack of all trades and the master of none. Do I keep kits on hand to sell? Yes, I do keep flip kits. Flip kits are different and they're totally legal in policies and procedures. Making your own little mini kit and giving your starter kit away, why would they buy the kit? They don't need to buy the kit. You just made them a kit. Right? They don't need it. We don't need to get the diffuser going. Yeah, you can get the diffuser going in your class. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not going to scare people away by breaking out some of the things that are in your starter kit, but by giving away your entire starter kit with 10 drops of oil in every single dram, that's not good. Okay, that's not good. So investing in more than one network marketing company, you got your hands in many, many different pots. Guys, I know what it takes for me to build my business. I am running all my leaders through my Diamond Rising deck cards. I am doing follow-up. I am doing training. I'm doing stuff online. I'm coaching my team. I am teaching 101 classes, sometimes 2-3 classes a week. How on earth can you do that for more than one network marketing company? You can't. You can't. You're going to get burned out and you're going to end up not ranking at all the network marketing companies because you're dividing your time, right? And you're not going to be good at anything. So that's bad. Building a storefront. Your money is in your downline. It's in your downline. So you stocking things in a garage, stocking things in your house, and having people come to your house, just order from me. I'll add XYZ to my order, and then I can get all the free promos, and you get the bottle of oil that you want without being a member. There you go, just order from me. How on earth does that build your downline? How does that build longevity if they're not on your team with a wholesale kit, ordering their own order on Essential Rewards every single month so that you're getting the 25% kickback on that? That's way more than the freebies you're getting on ER by adding to your order, and also that's illegal, right? You're not supposed to be doing that. Yeah, exactly. So don't do that. All right. Don't add to your order so that other people don't have to get their starter kit. That's bad. And you could be taken from somebody else's business. What if that person already has a starter kit and they're on somebody else's team, and you're putting something on Facebook so that they ordered just a bottle of thieves cleaner or whatever, and then you got to drive around and drop stuff off every single month? Don't do that. Just funnel them to a wholesale kit, train them how to fall in love with oils, and get them on Essential Rewards. Your money, your paycheck is in that team. All right, it's in the team. It is not in your little side businesses, and it's not in having people add things to your order so that you can hit 300 and 400 PV and you get the freebies and they don't. When they get the freebies and they get all, they get the points and all that, they're going to see the benefit of Essential Rewards, but they're not going to see that if they're ordering from you. We'll talk more about that when we get to the chapter on Essential Rewards. So running side businesses linked to oil. So making oils racks, designing graphics, oil-infused soaps, giving massages with oils, raindrop, making diffuser bracelets, necklaces, setting up an Etsy shop, and, making things like bottle labels with your Cricut, creating cool things with your Cricut, even if you're just wasting time with it. That does not lead to freedom. That does not lead to freedom. So stop it. Just grab the kit, sit down, read the script. Listen to people's needs. That's what leads to freedom. All of those pretty bottle labels doesn't lead to freedom. Doing classes that cost a lot does not, that doesn't lead to a starter kit. Doing classes, that like a make and take class on oils of the Bible, right? Or doing an oils and emotions class with all these supplies and demos and all that kind of stuff and little chalkboard signs, right? All those classes are great, but they do not lead to a starter kit. Oils, thieves, Ningxia, savvy, CBD. That leads to starter kit. So teach those classes. That's what you should be teaching. Recreating the starter kit. We just talked about this, mini kits. Don't do that. You're going to give away your oils. And then they don't buy the kit because they already have the oils. Why would they buy it? Charging for business training. Guys, there's so much free training out there. It's ridiculous. There's so many wonderful groups you can be part of. So many boot camps and free things from the diamonds, which they've already done it, right? Why do you need to be charging for that kind of stuff? Just get out, get your script, sit down, and connect with human beings. That's what you need to be focusing your time on, is prospecting, bringing people into your organization so that you can rank up, putting all of your time into personal development. I am an advocate of personal development. I think it's wonderful. I think it's going to grow you. But if that's all you're doing and you're not teaching classes, you're not going to grow. You're going to sit there year after year after year, and this training and this training and this training and this training, and your OGV is, because you're not teaching. Teaching is what builds your OGV. Okay. Yes. Oils, thieves, Ningxia, savvy, CBD. Repeat. Oils, thieves, Ningxia, savvy, CBD. Repeat. Okay. Repeat. So don't second guess yourself. Just find humans and oil them. Find humans and oil them. I've had over 300 free classes. That is awesome. Taught an oils of the Bible class with no clothes and had somebody enroll. Patty, that's usually not the norm. Usually, people are not going to go to an Oils of the Bible class and buy a $200 Oils of the Bible kit and a $165 premium starter kit and, get on ER and all the things. You're not going to get them to drop $500 in the first class. Usually. So what I say is teach the core 5 and then funnel them to one of those specialty classes after they've had the five classes, after they've been trained on all things, so that you can get them on Essential Rewards and you've got that opportunity to build that 3-month wellness checklist with them. All right. So, chapter 37. I think we're going to wait on Friends of Friends until tomorrow night, even though I was all prepped to talk to you about Friends to Friends, but I really don't want to go so long tonight that we lose our audience. So, let's just do a training here on leading sentences that lead to conversation. So, this is how you talk to cold market people that you don't know, and we'll open tomorrow with Friends of Friends so that I can keep this video a little bit shorter. This is the hallmark chapter of the book, is chapter 37. It is a skill that you have to know to grow. So, I'm going to walk you through exactly what I do when I'm talking to somebody that I don't know, and then I'm going to walk you through how I talk to somebody that I do know, and I'm going to give you a massive list of opening lines to start conversations, all bullet pointed. It's in the Unstuck book. I'm not going to read all of them, so if you want to grab the book, read through it. It's pretty simple. You pick one of those lines. You start the conversation. You find the need. You meet the need. You sell the kit. You rinse and repeat to diamond. Okay? Pick one of these opening lines. Start the conversation. Find the need. Meet the need. Sell the kit. Rinse and repeat to diamond. This is a great chapter. So talking to somebody that I don't know, Gwinnett says, I'm just stopping in to say, hi, Gwinnett. It is so good to see you. I'm glad that you popped in. I am Blue, and I have a very easy time talking to strangers. So I'm going to encapsulate Blue into this chapter for you so that it rubs off on you. My sister is a green. She's like almost 100% green, and she still has an OGV that's really close to 100,000 right now. So all you got to do is train your tongue, so that you fall back on your training. She's like, but I really don't care. Like, I don't care what their needs are. I don't care about meeting their needs. I just want OGV. I want to build my business and protect my kids. So is that bad? I said, no, it doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you green. You're logical. That's why you're building this business, right? Not to help every single person out there that you've never met in your life, but so that you can protect your children. So what I'm going to do, my green sister, is teach you a couple of sentences, and then you can fall back on that training, and it's going to sound like you care. And then this business is going to be wide open for you because you're just going to fall back on your training, right? Fall back on your training. So for the most part, I don't have any problem striking up a random conversation with somebody in a Walmart, but not everybody does. So one of the sentences that I love to use, and you guys have heard me say this several times now, is I think this is the answer that you've been looking for. Do you see how very close you are once the conversation has begun? You got to start the conversation. So I want you to visualize something for me for just a moment. You're going to laugh at this. I said this in Game Plan Bootcamp, but I'm going to reiterate it for you. This one sentence became a whole nother book, Unstuck. But I'm going to reiterate it for you in print form. If you open your front door, what do you see outside? You see humans. I want you to talk to the humans, right? You see a lot of humans outside. Even if you live in a small town, there's humans in the soccer field and humans in the next town over at the grocery store. And if you live in Alaska and there are no humans, guess what? If you get online, what do you see? Humans. Talk to the humans. Talk to the humans. What if you weren't afraid at all? What if you truly weren't afraid at all? What if you were a toddler all over again and you could approach anybody because you weren't scared? Could you imagine what would happen if every single human was on your team? Every single human outside, just the humans in the grocery store would build you to diamond, and their friends of friends. Just the people in your cell phone would equal a gold rank. It's not that there aren't enough people, guys. You got to stop saying that. It's that we're too chicken to talk to them. We're too afraid. Linda says, I see all my cows. Well, then drive into town. Go to the grocery store that's nearest you and talk to some of those humans. Get online. Talk to some of those humans. There are enough people. You are lying to yourself if you tell yourself that there are no people. All right, there are diamonds living in Alaska where there truly are no people. Okay, so talk to the people. Talk to them. All right, we're just too chicken to talk to them. So stop telling yourself that you can't do this. Stop telling yourself that there aren't enough people, or that everybody already has oils, or that your town is too small, or that you're not getting upline support. Those are just lines that you pop out of your mouth when you're afraid. When you're afraid of people. And this is a people business. So this business scares you, right? Here's the deal. You are afraid of people. Just say it out loud. I'm afraid of people. I'm afraid of people. The good news is that you can still do it even if you're afraid. In fact, I actually think that it stretches you and it grows you and it brings you closer to the Lord when you're doing things that actually require you to lean heavily on Him for confidence and favor, because then it's not all about you. It's about Him, right? And the glory goes to Him. So don't use your personality, greens, don't use your personality, reds, or even yellow sometimes, as a reason to avoid engaging with people. The truth is that any skill can be learned if you're teachable. It doesn't mean that you're going to have an outgoing, in-your-face, super people personality by the end of Unstuck. I'm not promising you that, but it does mean that we can train fear out of you. We can train fear out of you and get you in front of people in a way that makes you look confident, just by learning a few key sentences that get the doorway open for you. You're going to look confident. You might not feel confident, but you will look confident to the people that are next to you. So, can I challenge you to forget your I can't do this sentences, or I'm not good at that sentences, or my personality type isn't good at that or doesn't do that sentences. All those things that exclude you from having to talk to people, I want you to forget those sentences, because that's how you got to build this business. Forget all those sentences and just hear me out in this chapter, because you can do anything that you set your mind to. You can achieve what you choose to achieve if you stop telling yourself what you can't do. Your personality has no bearing on your success. It doesn't. Your decision to fight equals your level of success. So stop using your personality type as a crutch to avoid your business, because you can't build a viable business that way. Freedom over fear. Freedom over fear. So let's get a good poker face for you, and then we're going to wrap up the training, because I am just talking and talking and talking tonight. So I'm going to wrap this up. When I'm approaching somebody that I don't know, I size them up. I'm looking at them. Do we have anything in common? Do we have kids? What kind of shirt they're wearing? Is it athletic wear? Does it look like we have any sports in common? Are they wearing anything with a sports team? What are they talking about with the person next to them? What's in their shopping cart? Is there anything organic? The contents of my cart alone started an entire conversation with two 85-year-olds, and that landed me a 30-person class. I just had a conversation a month ago with a woman in the avocado section at Trader Joe's. She ended up getting a kit, and now she wants to use the Whole Thieves line in her cleaning business. And it all started with her overhearing me talking about making guacamole with one of my leaders when I was in Chicago. So you are a CIA spy. I'm going to say that again. You are a CIA spy. So you got to find something to kick off the conversation after you do your 15 seconds of investigative research. So here's a list of sentences that I use to kick off conversations with my cold market. And you know what? It could be any of these things that you use to start. It's okay. I'm not going to read the whole list. I'm just going to give you a couple of kickoff conversations. So, are you a Cowboys fan? All right, or insert any sports team, because I know you guys are going to beat us up for being Cowboys fans. My dog's name is Dallas because of the Cowboys. So my husband grew up in Dallas. So, just start the conversation with your sports team. How many kids do you have? They're so cute. You look exhausted. I just got off work and I am exhausted too. So I totally get you. That's a nasty cough. Would you like a thieves cough drop? This really has helped me so much. It looks like you're in pain. I have XYZ. I use a Cool Azul pain cream for it, and I think maybe it's the answer to what you're looking for. At the very least, it's going to help get you through the shopping trip. Do you want some of this? Your kids are so well behaved. Yeah, hashtag popcorn. You guys remember my popcorn story. Can you believe it's almost 70 degrees out in November? Oh my word. That's my favorite type of spaghetti sauce. I once sold a kit from that one sentence, and it led to us talking about putting oregano in the spaghetti sauce, and they were interested in essential oils. How are you doing today? Just that might be enough to open it up, right? I love your purse. Where did you get it? Maybe guys shouldn't use that as a pickup line, because that's kind of weird. I used to work retail for 11 years. How long have you been doing this? Pick a topic related to work, hobbies, families, usually a really big score. Talk about their kids. What's your story? How long have you done this? Has this been a busy week for you? Are you having fun? What are your favorite restaurants around here? Are you local? What's the best thing about working here? Do you have insider tips for getting out of the store faster? How does your family celebrate the holidays? What's your New Year's resolution? I actually asked that one when I was waiting in line on New Year's Eve, and that led to a starter kit and a guy's contact information. So any of those, how's your week going? If you're carrying a book, ask about the title. Are you okay? This is actually one of my most used lines. You don't have to skip the small talk. You can start the conversation with weather or, anything. Start the conversation with an open-ended question. People love to talk about themselves. Comment on something you have in common. If they're carrying a yoga mat, hey, I do yoga also. Give your stranger a genuine compliment. Like, I love your bracelet. That is your kids are so well behaved. That's the best mermaid hair I've ever seen. Your floral printed pants are legit. Where did you get them? Ask questions about your surroundings. Like, this is a great song. I love the song. Were you born in the 90s too? Because I can't get this one out of my head. Great. I'm going to have an earworm in my head all week now from the song playing in this restaurant right now. This might sound cheesy, but it's our human nature to want to feel useful and necessary. So ask for help. Ask for directions, right? Just say hi. You can open a whole conversation just by saying hi to somebody. Seems pretty simple, but it's amazing where it can go. Break the ice. Get her done. Sometimes they start by asking me a question, and then I just turn it around on them so that I can learn more about them. And you can read this chapter to learn about the TSA story. Some people ask me what the smell is on me, and I say, oh, it's peppermint oil. Yeah. The goal of the chapter is just to get the conversation started. So Unstuck workbookers, what I'm going to ask you to do in your workbook assignment tonight, right? Start the conversation. I'm going to tell you how to get their contact information next, but start the conversation. So here's a homework assignment for you. Remember when I told you to go to Starbucks or Panera or somewhere similar? I meant it. I want you to try to go have 3 conversations with people this week, with total strangers, just to prove to yourself that you can do it. You're not even getting their contact info or leading to a starter kit. We're not even doing that unless you really feel like this person's a fantastic lead and then add them on Facebook. But I want you to just go have 3 conversations with complete strangers to prove to yourself that you can do it. Your goal is to walk out and maybe add these people as Facebook friends. You may not mention oils for a month. You might just be chatty online. It's totally okay. I want you to prove to yourself that you can open the dialogue. You're like, Sarah, you did not even just go there. I just did. I just went there. Try to sneak in the words. I think this is the answer you've been looking for. Offer an oil if the conversation allows. If not, just build trust and wait for the window. Build trust and wait for the window. So obviously, any of the conversation starters above will double for this, but it's good if you go a little bit deeper. So make the goal of the conversation to address an ailment because you want to forge a wellness plan. The people that you know don't need small talk, they need solutions. So be their solution. You might have to wait a long time for the window to open for you to talk oils. Just gently drop seeds with them. Don't allow yourself to be hurt. And when the time is right, offer. I did that on Sunday. Does that count? No, Kim. You got to do 3 from right now. I just call this the gentle drop. So my husband got it after he personally witnessed my bathroom experience with peppermint, right? And now he's a bigger oiler than I am. So it's okay if they don't get it right away. Just oil them up, loan your stuff out, talk about wellness, meet their need, look for the window to speak into them. But above all, never give up. Never give up. But right now, this week, I want you to go prove to yourself that you can have those conversations. So get out there and just go talk to a stranger. Ask what's in their salad. Like, ask anything. What they order for dinner. Anything. Open up the door and start the conversation with people, because I want you guys to see that you can talk to people and that there are humans outside your front door. I love these stories. I did that today. Started a conversation with a stranger. Moretta, I met a guy in a restaurant parking lot and friended him on Facebook. That's great. If you do not friend them, you just lost that contact, and all that creepy work you just did that wigged you out was for nothing. You have to walk away with their contact information or it means nothing. It means nothing. So, all right, we're going to wrap up with that. I wanted to get to Friends of Friends tonight, but I had a lot of training on Hinoki, so we'll make sure we hit it tomorrow. Tomorrow is a very important chapter. Very, very important chapter, because that's how you duplicate your efforts, right? You duplicate your efforts with Friends of Friends. So your homework is to read chapter 36 and 37 tonight. Things that don't work and leading sentences that start conversations. Go get into your workbook. Get your Hinoki out. Do some deep breathing. Breathe it in. Fill your lungs 5 times. Breathe it out twice as slow. Domo arigato. Ohayou gozaimasu. Yes, Becky. Speak Japanese in my ear. I love it. I love you guys. And we're down to just 4 more boot camps. And then we're going to be wrapping this up. But I'm so ready for you tomorrow night. Make sure you get back on. We're going to power train through Friends of Friends, which is a very important skill that you need to know. And I can't wait to just soak in these last couple of days with you. And I believe if you implement some of the stuff, talking to strangers, listening to needs, being the solution finder, building relationships, teaching the core 5, not getting distracted, doing things that grow your business, 80% of your time prospecting, running them through a funnel, all these things we've trained on in Unstuck, you will see OGV growth. You will see it. Go back to the things that got you the rank in the first place. That's where you start, all right? Tomorrow night, Friends of Friends. Be there or be square. I'll see you same bat time, same bat channel. Or if you're not watching this live, you can just go click on that video right now and go check it out. Go binge watch. But otherwise, if you are live, I'll see you guys very, very soon. Thank you for the honor of your time. I don't take it for granted. Thank you for joining me for Unstuck Boot Camp. We have four videos left.